All right, let me say something that might surprise most of you. You see, top producing agents do not switch brokerages for what most people think. And it's not just about the commission splits, it's not about the latest tech platforms. It's definitely not because someone convinced them with a flashy presentation or pitch. After being in this business for a few years, working with buyers, sellers, investors, and agents in different stages, I've noticed a pattern that most people don't talk. And today I want to share the real reasons why top producers actually decide to move and why most agents don't even realize it until much later on into their careers. First, let's clarify something. When I say top producers, I'm not talking about agents who just had 1 year under their belt. I'm talking about those agents that have had consistent transactions, they know the business inside and out, they aren't looking for shortcuts, and that these agents who don't need to switch brokerages because they really don't have to. Which makes and begs this question, why do they? So let's clear up some of these myths first. And myth number one is that they leave for a higher split. Well, splits matter to some extent, but it's not going to be life-changing. If you're doing volumes of like 5 to 10% and then you think you're going to create some type of freedom, that's not necessarily true. Myth number two is that they leave for better tech. Tech is important, but tech is everywhere now. That you've got CRMs, you've got marketing tools, transaction systems. These systems are already at stake. Top producers don't switch because of their entire software by themselves. And myth number three, they leave because they're unhappy. Well, most top producers aren't unhappy. They're awake. They're going out there making a difference. The real reason is that top producers switch brokerages for the fact of having more control. You see, control means controlling their brand, controlling their messages, their time, and their whole growth plan or strategy. At some point, successful agents realize something uncomfortable. You see, I built a strong business, I built it, and I want to take full control. They see it. Their brand is tied to something else. Their logo, their growth, they're capped by something else, a structure. Their future dependent on rules that they didn't create. You see, top producers don't want to be rebels. They want ownership of what? Their direction, their identity, and their long-term vision. And number two is leverage. That's another reason why they leave. And I'm not just talking about the leverages in transactions. I'm talking about time leverage, knowledge, leveraging their network, their business leverage. At some point, these top producers ask some of these questions like, if I stop selling tomorrow, what will continue? For many agents, the answer is nothing. No residual income, it's not a scalable system or plan, and there's no leverage behind their own effort. Top producers don't leave because they hate selling homes. They leave because they don't have enough options. And number three is that systems that scale the agent. So here's a big one. Agents they discuss this sometimes amongst other top producers. They switch brokerages when they realize that their system is designed to scale the brokerage, not the agent. They start noticing these things like trainings that are generic that support and disappear once your production growth path favors the organization and not you as the individual. High performers don't want to be managed. They want to be multiplied. They want to see systems that help them. They want things that build their teams, build influence, build something that's outside of their teams. When that's missing, they start to look elsewhere, but quietly. And number four is that it's either community versus isolation. So here's something that many agents won't admit. And even top producers can feel isolated at times. You're expected to figure things out on your own, compete while pretending to collaborate, carries that pressure without real peer support group. At a certain level, success gets pretty lonely. Top producers, they don't want drama. They want community with standards. And they want to be around people who think bigger than they do and share ideas, challenge each other's thoughts, and respect each other's experiences. When that community does not exist, it becomes more of a turning point. And the next thing is personal reflection. I'll be honest with you, these things aren't what most people or most agents think about in a year or two when they're in their business. They show up after you're in the business for a few years. You've closed details, pushed through burnout, starting to ask what's next. I've had these conversations privately with other agents who look successful on the outside, but they're always questioning behind the scenes and the structures of what next. That's when brokerages stop being about logos and start being about alignment. And so if you're an agent and you're watching this video right now and you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm productive, but something just doesn't feel right. I feel capped. I want more control, not pressure. I want to build something that lasts for my family and generations to come. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're evolving, believe it or not. You're not alone. And in future videos, I'll start to talk more about career growth, leadership, and what real leverage looks like. And I'm not going to try to hype anything up. I'm going to try to be as real as possible. And if this resonates with you, stay tuned until the next video. Take care.